What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, we're on Bleeding Cool, and they've got this article up. I saw this. This was on X as well, that Howard Stern's official account announced that Kamala Harris is going to appear Tuesday morning live on Sirius Radio. And as this article on Bleeding Cool says, she's also going to be on Stephen Colbert and The View. So she's going to a lot of safe spaces to, try to drum up some votes. If you were watching the rallies this weekend, Trump had a pretty massive rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he had previously had an assassination attempt, and he showed up, and the people were there. And one thing I liked when I was on X, when everybody was showing the rally, they made sure, because they were like, "Oh no, people aren't really coming to Trump rallies; they're leaving." Blah blah. They were nervous because when the cameras, they made sure there were a lot of conservative press there. They panned around. They had overhead drone shots. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of people there at that Trump rally. There were a lot of people there. They were real nervous about that. And I saw some footage of Kamala did a rally in Michigan, and it didn't quite look like she drew the crowd that Trump, and that's a place that's supposed to, that they were counting on going blue for her. So, that's the kind of thing. So I understand she's doing the 60 minute, like I said, they just had her on, they had her on 60 Minutes tonight. And, the election, depending on who you watch, you're seeing a bunch of different things. But this is, I find this really interesting with Howard Stern, given his history. I've been listening to Howard Stern for 30 years. He used to appear on, he had what they called the Channel 9 show. And that show, because Howard Stern, I've been in the state of Tennessee since I was 5 years old. I was in Murfreesboro for over 42, almost 43 years. And now I live right outside of Nashville. So it was always the Nashville radio market. So Howard Stern was never on the radio in our area, but I would see him pop up on these like late night shows. He'd be a guest on this or whatever. And I was always fascinated by him. And so they started having Channel 30, which is actually still, I think it's a Fox affiliate or whatever now here in the Nashville market, but it used to broadcast at 11 p.m. on Saturday nights. It used to air the Channel 9 show, and it used to go up against like Saturday Night Live. And me and some of my friends, we would stay up and we would watch, 11 p.m. on Saturday. The Channel 9 show would air on Channel 30. And this is the old days. I didn't have cable television. We had just had a terrestrial television or whatever with the antennas. You had to put like aluminum foil on the wires to get the signal to come in good and stuff like that. And we'd watch, and we started seeing people like Crackhead Bob, Stuttering John, and all these people that are or were part of the Whack Pack. What was it? The woman Debbie the alien, that guy Riley Gaines. You start seeing all the High Pitch Eric. You'd see all these Hank the angry drunken dwarf, and and what's so funny, because I know Debbie's dead, and I thought Elephant Boy's dead, and I think Crackhead Bob's dead. There's so many of the Whack Packers that are no longer with us. But Howard Stern used to have Donald Trump on, because like I said, Channel 9 show didn't last very long. I know Howard Stern was doing like the Fart Man stuff. He was writing books. They were all bestsellers and stuff, Private Parts and whatnot. And then they signed a deal with E. And so they started filming the radio show for the E network, which was still pretty new at that time. And so then I did have cable. So that's when I watched the E show for years. And then Howard left E and signed his deal with Sirius. He got off terrestrial radio and went to Sirius. And but all throughout that time, Donald Trump was a regular guest on the Howard Stern show. And I know there was like articles in like the New York Times, and they were talking about Donald Trump had appeared on the Howard Stern show about 25 to 30 times, various appearances. I know they have records of at least 24 different appearances, but he was a regular guest. And I know Ivanka Trump was on, he would have Ivanka on there, and I think that's where they get the clip of Howard asking Donald about his daughter. And I think Donald had said, yeah, if she wasn't my daughter, yeah, she's beautiful. I would date her if she wasn't my daughter, that kind of, and then so they go, oh, Howard wants, Donald Trump wants to date his daughter, and, all this kind of, and I'm pretty sure that came from one of the appearances that Donald Trump had on the Howard Stern show. But if you fast forward to now, and the Howard Stern that we came up with, that I was listening to like 30 years ago, he ain't the same Howard Stern. And he is appealing to a completely different audience. And what's so funny, a lot of the stuff he's doing now, like especially when he dives into political stuff, everybody's like, he became Imus. And Howard used like, you'll never see me as an old man on the radio. I'll never be Imus. And I see people in the comments going, he literally became Imus. He became Don Imus. And it's that's kind of strange, but I don't know. Some of Howard's interviews over the last year have been pretty decent. He still does good interviews. He gets good musical, he's had like Clooney on there. He had a pretty good interview with Jelly Roll a couple months ago. He had Kevin Costner on when Kevin Costner was promoting Horizon, and some of those clips went viral. So like I said, I think this is going to get some traction, I think. But I also know, based on everything I saw over the weekend, people have made their minds up. There's like a month left before the actual official election on the 5th. People have decided who they're going to vote for. So that's, like I said, I understand maybe she's trying to shore up her base, but like, especially Howard's in New York. So, I mean, although I saw some people's like, what if Trump could flip New York? That would be a death blow. I would be shocked if Donald Trump could actually turn New York, a very blue New York, into a red state, but I don't see that happening. But like I said, this will get some views, and I know that I'm subscribed to the Howard Stern YouTube channel, but yeah, it ain't what it was. He doesn't do, I saw some people after they announced that Kamala was going to be on, they were like, this is Howard Stern in blackface, and I was like, oh, come on, like I said, I don't do the gotcha stuff. Howard Stern used to do really edgy bits, and now I feel like the show, that's why I said at the beginning, she's going to her safe spaces. People like Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen DeGeneres would never have gone on Howard Stern back in the day, and now they're like, oh yeah, let's go on Howard. So that's what I'm saying. It's not the same show, but I know this will get some views. Howard Stern, Kamala Harris. What do you guys think about that? We're on the road to 3,000. I need your Facebook, Instagram. I'm on X. I'm on Threads. All at Ikari Press. Check out my Gumroad. IkariPress.gumroad.com. I've got the link to that in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.